the alliance's military readiness.
Tonight, troops from NATO countries are descending
Tell
across Europe.
me what you think.
30,000 are now
Comment
in a
below.
remote coastal corner of Norway, nearly 200 miles above
Just
the
got home
Arctic
from another
Circle.
long day at
Today's
work.
scenario, Norway being attacked by another nation. NATO
Well, actually,
responds, invoking Article 5 of the
still completed a
1949
full day,
treaty,
didn't work
stating
any
an
extra
attack on
hours,
one
but
of
I'm
NATO's
just
30
chilling.
members is an attack on all.
I'm
The first and
exhausted. I
only
need to go
time
to
it was
sleep.
ever invoked was 9/11. On
But
hand for today's exercises, troops from 27
I'm gonna stay up,
countries.
so follow me on
Most
all
of
my
these
links.
Marines just came ashore yesterday. Their mission? Link up with other
Came
Marines
home to
and
some
NATO allies to begin the part of the exercise.
strange stuff
where
on
they
my
attack
computer,
the enemy.
but you never know.
Simulated attacks
You
coming
know,
from
the only
air,
thing you can
land,
do,
and sea.
Play safe.
This is Cold
Trust no
Response
one.
22, a military exercise where NATO partners must work together in
Just trying to be
frigid
careful with yourself.
conditions.
Cybersecurity. Get on Twitter with us, or with me. You can follow me. You can
Giving us that exposure is really nice because there's a lot to learn.
join
that's
some
for
of the
sure.
spaces that I'm
Today's
in. We
drills were
talk
planned months
cybersecurity and
before
those
Russia's
types of
invasion
things
of Ukraine.
It's naive to think that it's not on people's
that might be
minds,
helpful
though.
for you, but
Absolutely, they're tracking it, and so are we. But the exercise is completely
you
separate.
know,
The
there's only so much
dangers
you
of
can do.
operating in this type of harsh
I
environment
have
evident last
been
week when an
dealing
Osprey
with a lot
crashed
of.
during a training exercise, killing the 4 U.S. Marines on board.
They know their best friends are remains
So
on their
I
way
talk
back
about
to the US,
sensitive,
and that family's
meaning
agreeing.
that they
Here, the
we are
challenge
dealing
as
with
always is
actual
to stay
criminals.
focused on the training on the mission.
A mission
So,
preparing them for real
when
world
you,
scenarios.
but from my experience,
As the war unfolds in Europe,
how,
the
when
stakes
you're
feel
dealing with
high.
criminals, what you have to do is keep your cool.
Tensions here in Eastern Europe remain extremely high. And while the
So this it's really important. It's really, really important that you keep your cool and you talk about it and you try to get the answers. Now, doing the work that I do, working with the people that I've worked with, I've had the pleasure of working with retired police officers, retired sheriff deputies, I believe. And the reason why this is important is because of training. And we talk about police training. So if we defund the police, they are going to receive less training. But we do know Joseph Biden stands for more training, which is important. But we want to talk about training because you don't know how to diffuse the issue. And the last thing you want to do is jump on somebody or follow them because you could be putting your life in danger. But when you deal with criminals, you have to keep your cool. They're going to make a mistake. Okay? So when they make that mistake, that's when you pounce on them. It's going to happen, you know. But you know, don't be surprised that somebody's doing something. I work in Macy's during the day. At night I do other things, and I also merchandise. But I had somebody come into the store that I work in, and they stole a bunch of merchandise. So where I'm going with this is we believe it's an inside job. But regardless of it being an inside job, criminals are criminals, okay? You know, theft is theft. Going into somebody's apartment when they are not home, going into their stuff when they're not present, that's illegal. That's not only is it illegal, but it's wrong. So it's a crime to me. And it's not a joke. So once we find out, you know, things are it'll go piece by piece. But you know, what you have to do is keep your cool and be calm, you know, and wait for them to make a mistake. And then once they make that mistake, really capitalize on them, capitalize big time, and punish them. So that's all I can tell you. I mean, growing up as a kid, there was a bunch of stuff that I did that I wasn't supposed to do. But at the end of the day, the guilt continued to eat away at me. And, you know, I ended up not, you know, choosing to do better. You know, so I'm just going to keep it brief and leave it at that, you know. But I do want everybody to know I do not tolerate anybody coming into where I live using my stuff without my permission or consent or knowledge. No, you're not allowed to do that. And when I find the person who's doing it, when I find out who's doing it, I'm going to make sure there's a report filed, because there's not enough money in the world that can give me back that privacy that I had that was invaded. When you invade my privacy and go into my personal stuff, you can't give me money there's no money, there's no currency value that's going to return those personal thoughts, my personal information. So what I want to make sure that I do capitalize on whoever it is, figure it out, and push for the highest punishment. Because but in order to push for punishment, you have to be calm and you have to keep your hands to yourself. And I'll tell you that because that's the only way you can work with criminals. You have to be calm, you have to be patient, wait for your time to capitalize. Once you are in that position where you have them caught and cornered, then you make a move. Okay? That's how you deal with criminals. At the end of the day, they always make a mistake. So, go back to training. Do your research. Be patient. Other than that, I'm good. That is really sad. It's really sad that people want to be in my personal stuff. I'm not embarrassed about it. It's just, it's really pathetic. It's pathetic to me. So I think if the situation was different, if I was in a different position, they might not do it, but it doesn't matter. What's wrong is wrong, what's right is right. That's what's really important. That's what's important, And it's wrong for you to go into people's house, go into people's stuff, when it doesn't belong to you. I've never done that. I can say that I've never been somewhere where people didn't know who I was. So, there's not, it's not like, I'm in somebody's house and they don't even know who I am, and they had no idea I was going to even be there that month, that week, that day. They had no idea. So all I can do is be patient and let time run its course. Pray about it. I do want to show off this new haircut. I think it's nice. Let me do it. Side view. Back. Yeah. I don't know if you can really even see the back, but I tried. Please come to the Macy's at Governor Square Mall. You will see me. I am going to be there Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4. If you have any questions, anything you need help with, feel free to ask me. I'm also working with Anderson Merchandising, so any of your merchandising questions, you can feel free to ask me. even if it is for a job. If you're looking for a job, I work with Club Demonstration Services here in Tallahassee, Florida, off of Laney Bank in the Costco. If you're interested in the position, they are hiring. Use me, Charles Lynch, as a reference, and I will receive $500. Make sure you do that. I believe that's the estimate. That's the figures. Yeah, so just just get in touch with me. I'm not gonna sit here and complain and cry about crap, about pathetic jokes, just nasty. You know what I mean? So anyway, what I'm saying is not cool. Let me let you know now. So you know it's on the record. I don't do surprises. I don't care who you are. You could be my mommy. Rest in peace, William G. Lynch. That's my father. I don't do surprises. Don't try it. Don't play, because something's going to happen. That's not a threat. But you're going to have a problem if you try to surprise me, because I don't do them. And I don't believe I'm struggling with PTSD, but I've had issues with those type of incidents where people have used a gun or pull a gun on me, and I don't know. So I don't do surprises. I don't like them. I don't like when people plan. I hate it. Don't surprise people. Don't do it. It's not good. It's not funny at the end of the day. I mean, to me, it's not good. It's not good for you to do. If you want to do something nice for somebody, just do it and tell them about it, and they'll probably be a lot happier than when you surprise them. Christmas, all these other dates, they're different, but when you're doing things like in people's house, talking to that person, screw that. That's lame. And nobody really likes that. Alright, YouTube, that's almost 13 minutes of my day. I'm gonna go get some protein, do some more work. I did get a little bit further in that car search. This is just an FYI. This is just for your information, because I try to simplify things for people so they're not complicated, so people don't ask me questions like, what the heck are you doing, So I moved from an area where I was working one job full time, and was barely getting hired. Now I'm working over 3 jobs, so I'm working more than 3 jobs, which means I could possibly have more of an income. That's a possibility if I'm working more than 3 jobs, and all the jobs that I work, I believe I'm making more than what I was making in that area. So there's really no way that I'm making less money working 3+ jobs and going to school. It's not possible unless somebody is paying me below the minimum wage. So then if you really think about it, then that'd be somebody who's thinking really negatively, or doesn't really have that much common sense to know that nobody's going to work for under minimum wage, because not only that, but it's also kind of, you could go, get in trouble for that. Anyway, with that being said, that's an old chapter. I moved on. So, it's like a new leaf. You turn over. It's like you move. So you're doing something else. You're not worrying about your past. You're moving forward. So, anyway, I got a call from an old number. I don't know who it was. I don't know what it was about. But it's a little shady. I'm not gonna say anything, but again, it's, I'm just trying to stay positive. You gotta stay positive. You gotta keep it moving. That don't pay any attention. The only thing that's keeping my pockets tight is this life insurance license that I don't have. I took the test twice, could not pass it. If you know anybody who's really good at it, tutors life insurance, please, because the Florida Financial Services is not accepting me right now. If they were accepting me, I'd be making, I don't know if I'd be making, I wouldn't be making six figures, but if I'm making, a little bit more than I'm making now, I'd be living somewhere else, driving something different, Anyway, back to the car search. So they have a 4 Series BMW, ugly car. But the reason why I chose BMW is because it's something that I want. And it's not just a temporary, it's something that I want, period. So it's a purchase that I will be happy with, you know what I mean? It's not something that I'm going to regret. I think it would be worth the investment. So if I'm saying, okay, well, this is the car that I want to drive, so these are the steps that I have to take in order for me to drive this car, then I need to start taking them now, is what I'm saying. If it's going to be $400 or $500 payments, I need to start thinking, okay, well, this is how your budget's going to be. If you want to make those payments monthly, you're going to have to do this, X, Y, Z, to make sure you have that money right for those payments. Just listening to my supervisors, my bosses, my friends, family, doing my research, making sure I have things in order to move up. The other option was a Traverse, and that was, this whole car game is really crazy. Is because you have a bunch of side dealers who are selling cars for higher than what they're worth, but they have more of a variety. But when you go to the dealer, they have less of a variety. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. So that's how you can get sidetracked, because you could be driving down the street, but you see a Camaro, you see a Dodge Charger that you can get for a very cheap price, but you don't really know. And the reason why I say this is because I got screwed by a side dealer, so be very careful in Florida, in the state of Florida. So just be very careful of who you go to, who you see, because it can happen to you. You can get robbed for every penny. So I think that's it. Definitely push back and come see me. Save some time in your day. to come to Macy's at Governor Square Mall and see me, see Charles Lynch. We have a large variety of merchandise that you can choose from. You know, just because I work there is not the reason why I shop there, because I've always loved Macy's, even growing up as a kid. But we have all brands from Alfani to Michael Kors, men's, women's, and we have also used clothes, so you can get, you know, clothes for your little brother or sister or your sons and daughters. They have great sales. I'm just not a one store person, and I'm cheap. I'm gonna say that right now. But being cheap isn't always bad. So I'm gonna say that right now. If a shorty, if a girl says, "Oh, well, I don't like that," okay. Oh well, I'm gonna remain that way in the most part, but you know, I don't always not wear name brand clothes or use name brand stuff. So alright, 20 minutes done, I'm off. Watch the video, subscribe, like. Give me a thumbs up.